Hello, friends. Today, the passage that we are going to be reading together is called Sam's Helicopter Ride. So, if you have your passage out, I would like you to follow along with me while I read this. Sam and his father went to an airport. Those helicopters are cool, Sam said. Helicopters can land in small places, said his father. They can also fly side to side. A man came over. I can take you for a ride in one, he said. Sam and his father buckled up. The blades on top of the helicopter spun around. Whir, whir. The blades made a big sound. The helicopter shook. Then they went up. Sam looked down at his town. It was a great ride. Boys and girls, have you ever ridden in a helicopter before or seen a helicopter? Sometimes helicopters fly over our town. So next time, if you see a helicopter, you know what it would be like to ride inside one. Let's go ahead and look at the questions that go along with this passage. 1. Where did Sam and his father go? Did they go to the toy store, to an airport, or to a hospital? So let's go back and look in the passage. So we're going to look at just this very first line right here. It says, Sam and his father went to an airport. And some of you may have been to an airport before, but if you haven't, an airport is where planes take off and land at. So that's where you would go to get on either a plane or a helicopter. So where did Sam and his father go? They went to an airport. Who tells Sam that helicopters can land in small places? Was Sam's father the one that told him that? The man at the airport? Or Sam's friend? So again, we want to make sure that we go back in the passage and we're finding this question. So we need to know who tells Sam that helicopters can land in small places. We are going to look right here. And it says, helicopters can land in small places, said his father. So who was the one that told Sam? It was his father. So the answer to that question would be A. Sam's father is the one that said that. Number 3, read these sentences from the story. The blades on top of the helicopter spun around. Whir, whir. The blades made a big sound. The helicopter shook. Based on the story, what most likely made the helicopter shake? Do you think Sam and his father made the helicopter shake? An earthquake at the airport? Or the spinning blades on top of the helicopter? So right here it says the blades on top of the helicopter spun around, and that's what would make the helicopter shake. Those blades are very powerful. That's what keeps helicopters up in the air. So they probably did cause the helicopter to shake a little bit. Number 4, what is Sam's helicopter ride mostly about? So this is the main idea of this story. What would you say the main idea is? Do you think it's parts of a helicopter, Sam's helicopter ride, or Sam's trip to the airport? What would you say that this story was mostly about? It was about Sam's helicopter ride. All right, this is a written answer. What do Sam and his father get to do with the man from the airport? So let's go back in the passage. So right here it says, a man came over. I can take you for a ride in one, he said. So what did the man from the airport do with Sam and his father? He took them for a ride in a what? In a helicopter. Make sure when you write that, you're trying to write in a complete sentence. So we can always remember use the question In our answer, so our question says, what do Sam and his father get to do with the man from the airport? So you could start your question, or I'm sorry, you could start your answer out by saying, Sam and his father get to, you could say, get to ride in a helicopter, get to go for a ride with the man, something like that. But we really want to try to start our answer with part of the question. That way we know what we're talking about. Number 6, what did you learn from Sam's helicopter ride? So, as always, this is open ended. This is what you learned after we read this together today. But again, something I really want you to work on this week is using part of that question in your answer. So, the question says, what did you learn from Sam's helicopter ride? A great way to start that would be, I learned that. You always just want to make sure you have a small part in your answer. Boys and girls, I look forward to reading with you again tomorrow. I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your day.